Hey Maya, I think you're on mute because I can't hear anything.
It's good news. Thank you for saying that. That's so weird. Everyone else is up. Okay, that was really weird. That's never happened to me. Cool. Thanks, guys. Okay, starting back over. What I was saying is that the book Atomic Habits is absolutely amazing, and you should read it if you haven't read it. And what I'm sharing is from the book Atomic Habits. So starting over again. Thank you guys. Okay, so he says, no matter how consistent you are with your habits, it is inevitable that life will interrupt you at some point. Perfection is not possible. Before long, an emergency will pop up. You get sick, or you have to travel for work, or your family needs a little more of your time. Whenever this happens to me, I try to remind myself of a simple rule: never miss twice. If I miss one day, I try to get back into it as quickly as possible. And then he goes on to say, you don't realize how valuable it is to just show up on your bad days or your busy days. Lost days hurt you more than successful days help you. If you start with $100, then a 50% gain will take you to 150. But if you only need a 33% loss to take you back to $100. In other words, avoiding a 33% loss is just as valuable as achieving a 50% gain. As Charlie Munger said, the first rule of compounding is never interrupt it unnecessarily. This is why the bad workouts are often the most important ones. Sluggish days and bad workouts maintain the compound gains you accrued from previous good days. And this goes this applies obviously into the business as well, and not just working out. And then the last thing that he goes on to say is, furthermore, it's not always about what happens during the workout or what happens when you're working. It's about being the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. It's easy to train when you feel good, but it's crucial to show up when you don't feel like it, even if you do less than you hope. Going to the gym for 5 minutes may not improve your performance, but it reaffirms your identity. The all or nothing cycle of behavior change is just one pitfall that can derail your habits. I absolutely love that. He said that, I just want to say one part again. He said it's about being the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. It's easy to train when you feel good, but it's crucial to show up when you don't feel like it. And I feel like that applies so much into this business. Like, it's easy to show up on the days when, you feel confident, you feel beautiful, there's a flash sale, but it's harder to show up on the days when you're busy and life gets in the way. So I just challenge you guys this month, and it's my challenge as well, to show up even when life is messy, when life is busy, when life is hard. So that was my little motivation for you. But now I want to get into Reels and TikTok. So after writing out this training today, I decided that I don't really need 3 days worth of trainings unless you guys have like specific things that you want me to talk about. So today I'm going to do Reels, and then tomorrow I'm going to do TikTok. I'm not an expert on TikTok. I literally just started using it, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I will share all the things that I've learned in the 2 or 3 weeks. It's pretty similar to Reels. There's just a few features that are different, but I will share more about TikTok tomorrow. So, okay, for Reels. So this is like basic stuff, and I'll go more in depth in a minute, but since this is being recorded for everyone, I just want to make sure that I answer as many things as possible. So this is the screen that's going to pop up when you go into your Reels. So I just want to run over like each little feature button. So this one, if you didn't click the use audio button, which I'll talk about in the next slide, you're going to want to add music, and that's the little button that you're going to be able to add music. This little thing right here is going to be the speed up or slow down button. So if you want to do something in slow motion or something in fast motion, some trends have you do that. That's how you're going to do it, is through this little button right here. It's fun to just play around and experiment with. It also helps if you're trying to master like a voiceover. You can actually slow it down, and then you'll be able to speed up the recording so that your mouth matches the voice, but you're able to like say it, like record it while it's slower, if that makes sense. The 30 seconds, obviously that makes sense. 15, 30, and 60. 60, the new 60 seconds have been rolling out to more and more people. I don't know if every account has it yet. My account just barely got it. a little while ago. I don't even know if I'm going to use the 60-second reel, but I'll talk more about that in a minute. So next one down is choose a filter. And then this one is like I think this one says like, I can't even remember what it says when you click on it. I've never used it. It's like a kind of like another filter thing. And this one is the set timer and adjust when the take stops. So what I mean by that is if you are trying to do transitions, you can actually adjust the little line. And so it'll only take for like 2 seconds and then the video will stop, which is super awesome because you don't have to like go and like click the button to stop it. And then also if you're not recording, like if you're wanting to like upload videos on this page, if you swipe up, that's how you're going to be able to upload videos, is you just swipe up. Okay, the next page. So this is once you've already started recording. So if you have a video on there or you've uploaded a video, this is the screen that you're going to be able to see once you click preview at the bottom. So this is how you save your video. I highly, highly, highly recommend saving all of your videos after you've taken them. Even if you don't have text on the video yet, I always, always, always save mine. I just took some videos today actually. And I just always save them to my camera roll because you just never know what's going to happen if Instagram is going to randomly delete your drafts. So you don't want that to happen. And then also, I will talk about this more tomorrow, but this is how I upload my reels to TikTok, is by saving so I'll just save my little reels, and then I'll just find the audio on TikTok. Like I said, I'll talk more about that tomorrow, but that save button, I utilize that every single time. And sometimes I save it like 6 times just in case, just because I'm superstitious after I've had I literally had 40 drafts deleted. So learn from my mistakes and save your videos. This is the music button again. So if you didn't add it to begin with, this is where you'll be able to add music. I've never added music after I've taken the video or like filmed it or uploaded videos, except for on like ones that I'm like talking. So like any of like the ones where I'm like saying like Instagram hack or whatever, I'll add like an audio in the background. That's the only time I've ever used the music on this slide. Filter, again, if you didn't add a filter on the last slide, you're able to add a filter. This is like stickers. I've never put stickers on mine just because you can't change the length of when the stickers come in on the screen. And then drawing, I've never used the drawing tool either. And then obviously adding text, which I'll talk more about that in a second. And then this is like the little use audio button. So if you are scrolling through the Reels page, on the left-hand corner at the very bottom, there is an audio that will scroll. If you click on that, it'll take you to this page that looks like this. I would save the audio, and then I would also save the reel that you found, just in case for some reason it doesn't save the audio, or if you want to refer back to that reel for inspiration. But this is the page that I'll take you to, and at the bottom it says use audio. So if you're wanting to film a reel like right in that second, then I just click use audio. And then you won't have to worry about this music button. And then if you want to go back to edit clips, there's a little edit clips button, and the next will obviously take you to being done with that. So these are very cringy. I'm just gonna admit that right now. Oh gosh, where are all these playing at once? Okay. So this one is how to edit your video length and add text plus edit the text length. Let's see if it'll play. So at the bottom, that's how I'm editing the length of my video, down there at the bottom. And then once you're done, you'll just click the done button. Then you'll be able to either film more or upload another video. So right now I'm filming more. And then again, you can go back to edit clips if you want to edit again. This is how you add text. You'll just click the text button, or you just tap on the screen and the text will automatically come up. And then the text button, just like the video, you'll be able to edit when the text comes in on the screen. And then with the text as well, if you have multiple videos where you're just wanting to add text to just one video at a time, if you scroll, like if you go to edit your text down at the bottom, like right, oh, hold on, let me pause this for a second. Down at the bottom where I was showing you like how to move the text to see what time it comes on the screen, if you feel it, there'll be like a little, like almost like a lip. I don't know how to explain it. Once you go in and try it, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. You'll be able to tell when that video stops and when the next video starts playing, and you'll be able to edit your text just directly onto one video or the other video. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know and I can explain it in a better way. And then this right here is what I'm showing on this screen is basically that your text should stay within the blue lines. So those are the blue lines. You obviously have your center line, and then when it goes into your horizontal and vertical center lines, but then you also want to make sure that your text is on inside the blue lines this way, so that way it doesn't get cut off so that people can actually read. Okay. That was all. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about with editing the text. Okay, this is for voiceover and music. I actually don't usually do voiceover on Instagram. I usually do voiceover on the app called InShot. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't use it. I just don't. And then again, audio. If you want to add audio afterwards, you'll just click the music button, and then you'll be able to also edit the volume of the audio. So say that you're talking and you want the audio in the background. That's how you edit it, is you'll just go to this little music button, and then you'll be able to edit the audio. Okay, last one is how to use the align tool for transitions. This is very, very important for transitions. If you're like changing your outfit or something like that, you literally will just click this transition button after you have filmed your very first video, and you'll line yourself up. In this video, that's very cringeworthy for everyone watching, but it was the best that I could do. So you'll just use that little align tool, and then you just line yourself up, and if it doesn't work out, you can just delete the video and try again. But make sure when you're using the align tool that you also use the timer tool, which is right here. Oh, you can't see it. It's the timer tool that I talked about in one of the last slides. Oh yeah, this one right here. You want to use the timer tool so that way you have time to align yourself with the video. On the timer, there's a 3-second timer and a 10-second timer. So if you need more time to align yourself, just go to the 10-second timer. And like I said, if it doesn't work out, you can just refilm it. Okay. Whoa, I just jumped all the way to the end. Cool. Let's go. Okay, so I just want to walk through it from the very beginning, the steps that I take to go through Reels. So first step is audio. For me personally, when I am trying to choose my audio, I honestly will probably I usually just scroll through like the discovery page on Reels, which hopefully you all know what that is. Just the little button at the bottom when you're on your Instagram. I usually just, I usually just scroll through this, and if I hear an audio like 2 or 3 times, I'm like, okay, that's probably a trending audio. I'll click on the little audio, and then I'll see how many reels are created under the audio. For this one, it's 4,691. That's obviously a trending audio, or else they wouldn't have that many reels underneath it. But I also follow some accounts where they always are posting awesome reels, and so I'll just usually go onto those accounts as well. But you can also go to the For You. So if you go into your reel and then you go to the music, oh, I don't know why I said For You. It actually says See More, I think. Or maybe it says For You. Anyways, if you go to the music and you're on the music, in the right-hand corner, there's 2 words. It'll either say For You or See More. I can't remember what it says now. But if you click on that, those are also trending audios that Instagram is showing you. You can use the Trend Talk app, which is basically just trending songs that are on TikTok, and any trends that are on TikTok, it'll take them about 1 to 3 weeks to come over to Instagram. And the Trend Talk app is honestly better than Talkboard, and it's nice that it's just an app that you can use. So I would recommend Trend Talk over Talkboard. I think that they update it more, and there's more audio on there for you to look at. So highly recommend Trend Talk. And then, sorry, my husband. Okay. Okay. And then also just scrolling through TikTok. If you have TikTok, like I said, the trends usually come like 2 to 3 weeks later over to Instagram. So if you have TikTok, as you're just scrolling through TikTok, any of that audio will probably come over. Not any of it, but any trending audio on TikTok will usually come over to Reels. Okay. I can't see these things. Filming. How do I get rid of this? Okay, there we go. maybe. Yeah. Okay, sorry, filming. So filming is actually very, very, very important. And I think this is one of the main pieces that I see people going wrong. Main pieces that, wow, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The main step that I see people go wrong is honestly with this. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you don't have a light, I would get a light. If you don't want to purchase a light, just make sure that you're filming in front of a window. And probably on a sunny day would be best for your lighting, especially if you're going to put a filter on it, because most filters work best when it's light outside. So that's what I would recommend. Like today, it was a rainy day up until like the nighttime, and I was trying to film in the morning, and my lighting was honestly not great. And so I was just using a little ring light, and it helps my lighting situation. So you just want to make sure that you have good solid lighting. You don't have to film it on like a super nice camera or anything like that. Your lighting will make a huge difference. And then transitions, if the transition is bad, redo it. That's all I have to say with that. No one likes looking or listening to like a lips or a video and they're trying to lip sync it and their lips are off. Like, I don't know if that's anyone else's pet peeve, but like that's like one of my number one pet peeves. And I've been in that situation. It's hard to lip sync, and it really truly is a talent. And that's kind of why I've strayed away from like any lip syncing videos. But if you are going to do a lip syncing video, that's awesome. I have nothing against that, but just make sure that your lips are on. And there, like I said, there's different tools that you can use. Like if you're going to use, if you have like a fast lip sync video, you can use the slowing down tool in the reels to slow down the audio. So that way you can match your lips to the audio, or you can just practice it. Okay. Whoa, I think I'm glitching. That was weird. Okay. Okay, well, back up. Oh, wait, forward. Okay, step 3 is text. So text is very, very, very important just because this is what's going to hook your audience in. If you have a solid hook and solid lighting and you're using like a decent audio, your reel is going to do well. Like that's point blank, like your reel is going to do well if you have those 3 things. And I just want to say with text, if you wouldn't watch it, why would someone else watch it? So put yourself in someone else's shoes, like watching that, where it's like, okay, does this capture my attention? Is this something that someone would care to learn more about? Or, you know, would they be inspired or motivated by this? So just think of yourself watching that. And if the answer is no, then either switch up the text or just start over. Just because you have a reel that is filmed doesn't mean that you can't use different text on it. I usually just film my reels. So when I batch out my reels, unless I have like a really solid idea, I'll actually leave my reels without text. So I'll just have the video with the audio. And then as I, you know, feel inspired randomly one day, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I want to make this into a reel. And then I'll use the video and audio that I already have. And then I'll just put text on top of it. So like I said, hooks are very, very important. And the best thing with hooks is you want to really speak to a person and one person. So your hooks should have like the word you or your or you are or anything like that, because it sounds like you're talking to a person. So when I'm reading that, I'm like, you know, something like, you won't believe this. I'm like, what would I not believe? You know, and I'm going to want to watch that. And so these are all great hooks. You can take a picture of those, or you can just look at reels, like trending reels. Like if you click onto a trending audio and you look at the reels that are at the top, most of them are going to have pretty good hooks on them, which is why people are watching them. And so look at those and write those down, or, you know, use those for future reels. Because there's a format that everyone uses, and these are like a pretty similar format that most people use on theirs, or like a how-to. Like for example, today, gosh, what did mine say today? I said how I grew my account by 2K in under 2 weeks. That catches someone's attention. They're going to be like, how did she do that? Right? So something that's going to capture someone's attention and just really draw them in. You know, if someone was like, you know, the secret ingredient to success someone's going to probably want to watch that, right? Like, obviously there's no secret ingredient to success. I don't know why that was the very first thing that popped in my head. But stuff like that, where it's like, oh, like that's like interesting. I want to watch more. So that hook is very, very, very important. And you want to get someone past the first 3 seconds of the video. I read a statistic that you have 0.07 seconds or something to capture someone's attention before they move on to a different reel. So that hook is extremely, extremely important. So yeah, that's what's going to capture attention. Okay, step 5 is your caption. I think that captions are very, very important and they add to the reel overall. If I have a reel, this is like my rule of thumb. And just to let you know, like, this is all my advice. If you don't want to do any of this, that's totally fine. I have nothing against that. But like, my rule of thumb for myself is if I have a short reel, my caption is probably going to be more on the medium to longer side. And when I say that, I don't mean like an entire essay. My caption today was actually probably one of the longest captions I've ever done on reels, because my reel itself was like 5 seconds or something. And it didn't have any information. I had a hook and I said, in my reel, I said, read the caption. And so that's an example of how I would use a long caption. If you have a reel that's like explaining, let's say, for example, you have a reel and you're talking about, oh gosh, this is hard to think of things off the top of my head. Say that you're talking about the best note-taking strategies or the best note-taking skills that you can possibly have or something like that. And in your reel, you talk about, like 10 different note-taking strategies. That's a lot of information in that reel. I probably would not have a long caption. And if you do have a longer caption, what I would do is I would just recap everything that you said in your caption. But you don't want to just like spew information out, because say that you talked about 10 different note-taking tips and then in your caption you talked about 10 more of them. It's like, that's a whole nother reel idea that you just wasted in the caption. In my head, that's how I'm thinking anyways. And it's always good to be repurposing content. So just because you talk about it once doesn't mean you can't ever talk about it again. But that's kind of like my rule of thumb for short and long captions. And then always, oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Never mind. Pretend I didn't say that. Yeah, call to action. That's what I was going to say. Always make sure that you have a call to action at the end of your caption or at the end of your reel. So going back to my reel today, I said, read the caption for more information. That's a call to action. And then at the bottom of my caption, I said, like, comment any questions you have about social media and I'll answer them below. So these are just a few call to action examples that I use very, very frequently. Like, comment an emoji, DM me blank to learn more, like, comment and share for more, follow along for more tips and tricks, part 2, whatever. Comment and blank and I'll send you a video. So those are just frequent ones that I use. But again, there's tons of different call to actions, and you don't necessarily have to use a call to action in your reel and your caption. That's just how mine was today. Usually I just do a call to action at the very end of my caption. Okay, step 7 is when to post it. So you've created this beautiful reel, but when do you post it? You really truly have to experiment for yourself and see when is best for your audience. So if you go into your profile, which hopefully all of you are either a business or a creator account. If you're not, you should be, because that is very, very important for social media growth. But right underneath edit profile, wow, the reflection is awful. Anyways, right underneath edit profile, it says insights right here. If you click on insights and then you go to your audience and then you scroll down to the bottom, it will say the most active times that your social media following is active. You can go into hours, you can go into days. Like today, for example, my audience was most active between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. With a peak at noon. And my rule of thumb is always post 1 to 2 hours before your audience is most active, because think of it this way. So say that your audience is most active at noon. Say that you post at noon. So many of those people are not going to be able to see your post because you posted at noon. And say that, you post at noon, or say that you post at 12:30, okay? if your audience is most active at noon, say that someone hopped on at noon, they're not going to see your post at 12:30, right? Most people are not scrolling through their Instagram for like hours and hours at a time, right? So you want to post 1 to 2 hours before your audience is most active. But that being said, I would say that you need to experiment with it, because I was posting I think I was posting at 11, or yeah, I think I was posting at 11 before, like probably like 2 months ago. And my posts were not doing as well, and so I started posting at 9. So I always post at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Not always, I shouldn't say that. Today I did not post at 9 a.m. I was a little behind and I posted at like 10:30 or something. So it's not the end of the world if you don't post exactly at that same time, but I usually try and post at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And that way the Instagram algorithm knows that you're posting. They favor your content. They're going to push your content out to your audience. Your audience is going to be able to see your content because you posted before the peak. And also, your audience gets to know that you have a posting schedule. For me, for example, like I say, I post at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time every single day. My audience always knows that there's going to be a reel coming out, whatever the reel is. And I'm not saying you have to post every single day. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you should create a posting schedule, because Instagram algorithm favors that. And also your audience also likes knowing when you're going to post. But yeah, play around with it and see what works best for you. What I usually do for me, if I'm experimenting with things, I will usually, I'll usually experiment for like 2 weeks with a certain time, and then I'll experiment another 2 weeks with a different time, and I'll just look at my insights and compare the two. Okay, step 8, hashtags. There's a whole conversation that we could have about hashtags, but I'm just gonna keep it simple for right now, just because this is about reels and not hashtags. In the comments or the caption or comments, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna hurt your reel whatsoever if you post it in the comments or you post it in the caption. They're both going to benefit equally. That being said, if you do post them in the comments, make sure that you post them as soon as possible after you post that reel, just because the hashtags are going to help you boost views on your reel. And so if you post those hashtags like a day later, it's still helpful, but it's not as helpful as if you had posted it right after you posted the reel. With hashtags, make sure that they're relevant. So if you post a reel about being in the mountains, and then your hashtag is about, being with your dog, like, not relevant. Instagram is actually a lot smarter than you think, and they're not going to push out your content because they know that they know that the hashtags that you use for that reel are not the hashtags relevant to that reel. So just make sure your hashtags are very, very relevant. 8 to 15 hashtags is what is now what you should be using. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Step 9 is reposting to your story, and then use an interactive story. You can cover it up and then say like new post or whatever. What I've been doing lately is I just say like, was this reel helpful, or did you learn something, or like ask a question, and that way they're actually interacting. And then if someone sees that 100% of people said that it was helpful, they're going to want to go and click on that reel, and they're going to want to look at it, right? So just having things that are interactive and reposting to your story, those views on your story count towards your reel. Okay, I got 7 minutes, so I'm gonna talk fast. I'm almost to the end of this. So batching content. Batching content for me is extremely important. This list right here is actually my list of ideas. I have an ongoing list of about 50 ideas at all times. So if I do something, like if I make content for a reel, with one of these ideas, I will edit it and I will replace it with a new idea. So I always have a continuing list of ideas. It's taken me a while to build this up, so don't feel like you have to like sit down tonight and make a list of 50 reel ideas. I usually build it up over like 2 to 4 weeks, just depending on when I batch my content. But that way, when I sit down to batch my content, even if I don't necessarily have like these amazing ideas, I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to film this reel with this audio because it's trending. And then I go and look at this list and I'm like, hey, this idea could fit with this audio. I'm going to go ahead and put text on this audio. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Text on the audio. So that's how I use my lists. And like I said, it's something that I built built up over time, but they're all niche specific. So make sure that your reels are always, 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 always niche specific. They should never be outside of your niche. Reels are very, very important for that reason, because say that you, sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but this is important. So say that you post, I'm trying to think of something super random. Say that you post a reel about sharpening pencils, okay? And your reel gets 1.2 million views, okay? That's awesome. That's awesome that your reel got that many views, but the people who follow you from that reel are wanting more content like your sharpening pencil content. And when you start posting about, say that your niche is posting or is talking about like college students and studying tips, they're going to be like, what the heck? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Actually, that one would kind of make sense because college students use pencils. Anyways, just pretend that they're like totally separate. And so that's what I'm trying to say is when you gain those followers, they're probably going to unfollow you because the content they came to your page for is not the same content that you're producing. So that's why it's important for reels to always, always, always be niche based. Your stories is where you can share other stuff that's going on in your life, and same with your feed posts as well. So for batching content though, I scroll through the discovery page. I will write down ideas. This is my list. I will brainstorm and then I will prep. So usually I batch content every 2 to 4 weeks, just kind of depends. It's been about 3 weeks now since I batched content. It really just truly depends. The last time I batched content, I did 20 reels, which is going to last me 2-3 weeks almost. So it just really depends. And the more that you do batching, the more that you batch content, the better that you get at it. When I first started batching content, I would do like 3 reels and it took me like 3 hours. But the more you do it, the better you get. And you get quicker where you're like, okay, I'm in this outfit. I'm going to go ahead and go back and I'm going to use this same outfit in a different reel. And then I'm going to switch my outfit. So you just get better at it, just like anything else in life. The more you do it, the better you get. But the biggest thing that helps me is just always, always, always brainstorming. So if I'm scrolling through my discovery page or even just my feed and I'm like, oh, I love that audio, I make sure that I save that reel to a folder and save the audio. And then I have this list to go back to. So that way, when I sit down and I'm like, hey, I need to batch out, 10, 15, 20 reels. It's not like, okay, I need to go and find the audio and then I need to go and find the ideas. It's like, okay, I already have everything ready. I just need to literally just film myself. Okay, mini tips. So the length of the reel, why I put in 7. So 7 is the average length of a viral reel. I'd say most of my reels are between 7 and 15 seconds. I don't think I've ever done one. No, I shouldn't say ever. I haven't done one in a really long time that's been over 15 seconds. So 7 is creating a viral reel. 30 is when you're really, really educating. Actually, that's a lie. I have done one that's over 15 seconds. Any of my Instagram hacks, those are all like 30-second reels, and those are very, very educational reels. So there is a time and place for everything. Don't just try and create all viral reels because you won't be able to educate your followers, which means that you're not creating that binge-worthy content, which means that they're not going to be coming back to your page, which means that they're not going to be following you. So there's a time and place for all of them. So just know that 7 is the average time for a viral reel. 15 is kind of that in between, and 30 is when you're really starting to educate. 60 seconds is 60 seconds, I would say, if you have something that's really, really important to say, whether that's like motivational or something, that's what I would say to use the 60 seconds for. The cover photo, should you use a curated picture or one from your reel? I used to use curated pictures. I actually did a poll on my Instagram story about this a long time ago, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. Okay, that wasn't that long ago. 3 or 4 months ago, I did a poll on my story, and most people said that they like the ones that are not curated. And what I mean by curated is like an edited picture that has nothing pertaining to the reel. Most people like the ones that are just like taken from the reel exactly. Again, it's personal preference. I've seen so many accounts who do really, really well and they have curated photos. Personally, I love being able to see like the text and see what I'm clicking on before I go into that reel. So that's why I love those. But again, personal preference. Save your reels to your highlights, especially if they pertain to your niche, because if someone is binge watching your reels, they're also going to be watching your highlights. And if they see your highlights, they're going to see your reels. They're going to respond to your reels. And I've had people respond to my calls to action on reels from literally 6 months ago. No joke. I had someone reach out to me today, a call to action from 6 months ago that I had on a reel because I had it saved in my highlights. Okay. We have less than a minute. Does anyone have questions? If you do have questions and this gets cut off, drop them in the chat, in the Made for More chat, and I will answer them in there. But if anyone could type faster than less than a minute, drop them in the chat. And then this is also being recorded, so it'll be uploaded to the YouTube page tonight. And like I said earlier, I will do the training tomorrow on TikTok, and then also repurposing reels for TikToks and TikToks for reels. Anyone? Do 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 do. I don't think anyone has any questions. Maybe. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I don't want to stop it.